and do it.
Story time. Welcome to the Christian and Daniel Show. It's about to get real. Well, you know the deal. You won't have to guess how either of them feel. Bringing up the things you don't think to know. Never knowing where the conversation will go. Just a little more than anything goes. It's a Christian and Daniel Show.
Hi, everyone. I'm Christian.
And I'm Daniel.
And this is the Christian
And Daniel Show.
And I'm Christian. Thank you.
How you doing, babe?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Had a weird day yesterday, but I'm doing good today. Thank God yesterday is yesterday and today's today.
I haven't seen you in a while.
I know. We haven't been together for like a week almost.
I know.
And it felt weird. I miss you.
I miss you too.
And I really do. It's really weird. Like I'm eating and I feel like a depressed person in like one of those commercials for the mental drugs. Like name anyone, whatever. Not Victoza. But whatever drug for your psychology for being depressed. I feel like I'm like the perfect poster child when I'm eating breakfast alone at the table with all the windows open and people walking by with their loved ones and and I'm all in here alone. And the blue color, everything's in a blue hue.
Keep talking. I'm trying to see if we're actually on.
Oh, okay. But anyway.
Oh, it says live.
It does say live.
There we go. It's coming up.
Oh.
No, it's not.
Okay. Is it not coming up? We're not on.
We should be on. There we are.
Crystal
we are.
Kent's here.
Yeah,
hi, guys.
She can see us. If she can see us, anybody can see us.
She said hi, guys. Can you hear us, Crystal? And then I stopped talking.
I know, we stopped talking.
Can you hear us? Let me go completely silent.
As we freeze.
She may not be able to.
I hope so. The microphone's on.
Did you hear it on? Oh, you haven't been able to get it on your phone?
Yeah, I haven't been able to get it on my phone. But she can see us, so I'm guessing other people can see us.
Well, anyway, so I started my next job, another little adventure in employment because I just need to earn more money.
He works hard for the money.
And so not only am I doing my little teaching gig now, which is coming up next week, I'll be doing that next week, but the last 2 weeks I've been door dashing and delivering food to people.
Oh, there we are.
And I've actually made pretty darn good money doing it. I'm not going to complain about that. And I only work 2.5 to 3 hours a day, and I'm making enough to pay bills and do things. So, it's kind of good. It just feels good to bring something in. I do get real anxiety though before I start. Like I don't just start it like I have like anxiety, and I don't know if it's going to be a long-term fix, but.
Well, why do you have to be evil, people? You just came on. We haven't been on for like 3 minutes, but Gabe is here.
Thank you, Gabe.
Gabe is here.
Hey, Nick. Thank you, guys. Yes. Oh, and by the way, as I drink my coffee.
Oh, yes. Hi, Christian. My coffee is so delicious, too.
My coffee is really good.
My coffee is so delicious.
I just...
Cheers.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know. These mugs are so amazing.
They make the coffee taste so much better because they say Christian and Daniel Show.
Yes.
So
the story is
we have so we told this story I think before. For those of you that don't remember, I'll tell it quick. So Ancestry.com told me that I had a couple of first cousins in Houston. So I connected with them, and we've been Zooming a couple of times and chatted, and. Yeah, we drink coffee all the time. Yeah. And so...
I don't usually. I'm going to be amped for the evening.
My cousin Miriam, whose boyfriend Checo, he's so cool. So he sent us... There he is.
Hey, Checo.
Checo. So Checo created this for us. And he made the logo, and we decided to put it on a cup. So I wonder if at this point, Miriam is giving Checo.
Is Miriam on?
Yay! Checo has his cup.
Oh, good.
Oh, you're watching the Walter Mercado? Okay, so we want. Okay, so we want to take the.
I heard one of the queens did him on Snatch Game.
Yes. So we want to thank Checo Doria for our beautiful logo, which is on our mugs. And yes, these will be going out as merch soon. So
We will have merch.
we'll
at
have a
some
merchandise.
point.
We're gonna have merchandise for you guys to buy, and so. But yes, David Gonzalez. I heard about the Walter Mercado. I have not seen it. For those of you that know me as
I don't know who that is. I just know he's a psychic.
Card
famous
Devo,
psychic.
yeah. So the Card Devo, a lot of the things that I do in my readings,
Yes, Crystal. We're very subtle.
yes, a lot of things that I do as Card Devo doing my readings, I learned watching Walter Mercado.
Okay.
Walter Mercado was if you're Latino, you know about Walter Mercado.
I'm Latino and I have no
But
idea.
I mean like real Spanish speaking Latinos.
Oh, real, as opposed to me.
yes,
I'm fake.
not the.
I'm the Karen.
So
of
Walter
Latinos.
Mercado used to be on like several of the Spanish talk show forums. So he would come out and do horoscopes, and one of his things at the very end was like "con mucho amor." So okay, so we're stoked. Yes, I'm glad he loved it. So Miriam is recording. I hope she recorded it for us. Him opening the package, so we will show this.
Hint,
on the
hint,
page.
hint.
Yes. If you didn't record it, do it again. And
pretend.
pretend you're excited. But yeah, Walter Mercado, and it's a mystery. Walter. Oh yeah. So Walter Mercado supposedly did not die, but at least he did die. So
But he disappeared.
but a lot of things that I learned about doing horoscopes and doing readings, I learned watching him, and that's part of my shtick.
Okay.
Some of it was from him. Yeah. But there's a documentary on his career, so I'm gonna watch it too.
Is
So,
it on Netflix?
it is on Netflix.
Okay. And I was wondering why Walter Mercado came up for whatever the Puerto Rican All-Stars name is on RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars.
What's her name?
I don't know. That's why I just said what I said.
If you put your face on a mug, it would be your mug on a mug.
That's very clever. But,
Okay.
but the question is, would it sell?
Yes. Of course, do you think my picture on a mug would not sell?
I'm not saying it wouldn't.
You picked me out of a lineup of photos on Cupid.
On OkCupid.
Yes. But we're let's be honest, some of the pickings are kind of...
Well, I think by today's standards, it's pretty slim pickings by today's world. But then again, aren't you doing something on a weird dating app now?
Okay, so long story cut short.
Daniel's on a dating app.
I am on a dating app. I'm cruising and pursuing people on a dating app. You're gonna make them think like, no, we're not.
That was the point. Duh.
So
But there's obviously more explanation.
okay, so this company, The Shelf, which is a marketing influencer type marketing company, found me. I asked them how they found me. They did a search on Instagram, I guess for content people, and they found me, and they kept emailing me. They emailed me like 5 times, and I thought it was a scam. So finally, I went to the Blued, it's Blued. The app is called
Thanks,
Blued.
Gabe. Yes. I have a feeling he's been in more than one
What?
police lineup.
Oh yeah, there's mugs of me out in Texas. She caught me by surprise when she gave me the mug. I was not ready with my messy hair and couch. Oh yay! And but yours is different. Yours is not like ours, by the way, Chico.
Yeah, yours is different.
Yours has your name on it. Ours doesn't. So, well, I guess it does, but
Well, it has our name
our
on
name
it,
on
of
it.
course.
But yours was specially
Yours
for
has
you.
your
Yes.
exclusive name.
Yours
on
was
it.
for you.
Ours doesn't say Checo anywhere on it.
So the Blued people hired me to go on.
And now, what is Blued again?
Blued is
'Cause
like
I've never heard of it.
Blued is like an international grinder thing. So you can connect to guys from around the world and chat.
And what can they do that makes it unique compared to Grindr?
Well, you post live videos.
Oh, so you could do like a Facebook type live thing.
Yes.
So I could be in my underwear making breakfast
Yes.
every morning
So
and be
I-
like, I'm here in my underwear making breakfast.
I called it the huevos making huevos. There was a okay. So after they hired me,
I don't get that.
After
What's
they
sexy about that?
after they contacted me and asked me if I would do content on their page, I was like, what am I going to do? So I went and checked through the app, and there was
I had to do research.
yes, there was a guy standing in his kitchen in his underwear making eggs. So
I actually saw part of that.
I called that the Huevos Making Huevos video. There was a guy that was stoned, and he's just sitting there going, "Hey guys, hey, hi." So,
and that's what passes
Yeah.
for I'm available, come get me.
Well, then the one that caught me by surprise was this one guy who has his phone. So he has his phone right here. Okay, so he has his phone right here. And then his other hand is under a towel on his lap. So
Obviously, rubbing his inner thigh because he has a groin.
he had an itch. He had
has
an
a
itch
groin
that wouldn't
pull.
end.
A muscle that people playing basketball or tennis.
I'm not gonna lie. I watched for like 5 minutes. Nothing came of it, so I changed the channel.
I can't believe. Remember who takes the subway train down to the sewer every show, and it's not me, folks. It's not me.
So I wrote the ladies and I said, look, I've looked at the videos. I'm not taking my shirt off. I'm not doing suggestive stuff. Like it's not me. I can't do that.
And one of the things he could have said, but didn't. I'm not single, so I'm not going to pretend like I'm
Well,
single.
on my profile,
Okay.
so on my profile it says partnered. I did put partnered, but people still ask you like, are you single? Where you from? And so I wrote them back and I said, hey, I will do
There's
a video.
a reason.
I will do a video, but I will do card readings. Will that be okay? And they were like, yeah. It's like nobody's ever done that on here, so do it. So I had my first show on there was last Thursday, and people joined me. The people were watching. They stopped, and then I did another show on Monday, and some of the same people came back and watched again. And then yesterday I was supposed to do an hour. I ended up doing a 2-hour show. And these are people. Okay, well, this is what I gathered. Because I was talking to somebody about it today.
But you got to tell them about the evolution of the individuals. Daniel actually has already got a fan base. There.
Yeah, I have more followers
not
on
all
there.
people who are like, take off your shirt.
No.
Let me see what your abs look like. Or, like none of that goopy stuff. Like they actually goopy stuff. I like that. They actually are being respectful, and they, I won't play. Daniel's a talented intuitive, and particularly with the cards. And I guess he just impressed. I'm going to say he impressed the balls off those guys. and like so now he has this. I guess he has a pretty big following on there. Yeah. He said it's larger than his TikTok following.
I gathered
interesting.
I picked up more followers on the dating app in 2 weeks than I have in TikTok in 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and they get on if someone comes on and gets saucy, they get on like the other people who are there get on their case and or get them to sign off or boot out.
Because I was reading this one guy, and they're pretty lengthy readings. They're about 10 minutes long. And I'm reading this one guy, and every time I stop to do the next person, I tell them, hey, no nasty talk. Don't ask me about my underwear. Don't ask me if I'm naked.
Don't ask me if I'm wearing it.
Yeah, anything. So I'm like, because you will be booted off. And I really can't control that. But one guy came on who had just missed the cut and
True
said,
Crystal.
oh, okay.
And Mira, that's how we met.
Yeah, we met on OkCupid.
On OkCupid, not on this.
So this guy comes on and asks me, "Are you wearing underwear?" And all the other guys were like, "Hey, get off! Leave him alone. He's doing a reading. Shut up." So I was, but okay. So here's the interesting thing. The interesting is that a lot of these guys are from like the Middle East. They're from Philippines. They're from India. They're from countries
it
where
seems to have more of a. It's more heavily Eastern Asian than American.
Yeah, and
it has more of a foreign following.
And some of these countries are places where homosexuality is not seen right, or people can get criminalized.
You could be
So a lot
killed.
of them, many of them don't have their picture on there. They have, because one of the guys told me in a message, if you have your picture on there and somebody finds you, they can report you. And you can get, you're considered, it's a felony, it's a crime. So
I mean,
you-
how spoiled are we that we've never had
Yeah.
to live in that world? You know, the biggest concern I had was before I came out of the closet was one of my fraternity brothers finding out I was gay and booting me out of the fraternity, which in hindsight I wouldn't have given a bit right now. But I was never get booted out. And if they knew, and no one said anything. So, but it's just crazy to think there are still countries in the 21st century where you cannot be yourself without risking your life.
Yeah.
Like, and I guess a lot of our brothers and sisters in Russia are basically doing that.
Well,
and
one of the
risking their
guys,
lives every day.
one of the guys that I read, and I encourage them to message me afterwards if they have any more specific questions, because I know that they don't want to talk about everything on the air.
Gabe, you are. I love that.
You're a troublemaker.
You're just gonna. I love it. Just get the birthday. Just get a bunch of cards and read them. I bet that would work.
If you do that, I want to record it, and I want to be on that show.
We need to be guests.
I want to be watching on that.
That would be good.
But one of the guys was telling me that his dad is forcing him to get married, but he met a gentleman who wants to help him get out of the country.
Well, get out of the country.
So he's stuck between like honoring his family and leaving.
And you know, I say get out of the country like it's no big deal, but that's an American point of view. You know, being born and raised here, I can't imagine being in a culture where most other societies and cultures really heavily respect and have a super heavy, a super heavy weight on pleasing your family and fulfilling your family obligations, which is marriage, sometimes marriage and or marrying and bearing children with a woman. So I get that. You know, it's and I just saw David's question about TikTok.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine having a father or a parent figure that you respect and you're obligated to respect, saying I've arranged a marriage for you,
Well,
and you're like,
imagine?
I don't want to live that life.
Can you imagine? I mean,
I can't imagine.
If I were like, I came out when I was
It
17.
was bad enough when I was doing that to myselve.
Yeah, I came out when I was 17, and I can
My
imagine.
parents did it to me.
I can imagine my dad at 17 or 18 saying, I've arranged this marriage with this woman for you to get married, and I'm like, I've been out of the closet way longer than I've been in the closet. So
Yeah.
like I wouldn't like. Ew.
Like completely disregarding the fact that may not be the path you want to be on. It's irrelevant because in some cultures it's irrelevant. That's where they look at America and say, oh, you're very, the whole theme of Crazy Rich Asians was that the girl wasn't going to be good enough for her son because Americans always serve their own needs. We don't think of the family or anyone else above ourselves. Which is kind of showing with the whole mask ridiculousness that's going on. While other cultures have had no problems wearing masks and just doing what they need to do to. Anyway, that type of mentality is what's going on here.
Yeah.
It's that type of respect where you can't tell your mom, I love her and I don't care what you think, unless you want to completely lose your family.
Yeah. So it's been very interesting. So I left them homework just to finish that conversation. I asked them.
Oh yeah.
They wanted to learn because they're on a dating app and they want to learn how to find a partner. So what I told them was, you gotta, and I know it sounds, it's a cliche now, and everybody says like you really gotta love yourself and you've got to be comfortable with who you are before you can be in somebody else's.
Did you quote RuPaul?
I almost did, but I did not. Hi, Veronica. And
Hello,
so
Veronica.
I asked them to do homework. I'm like, will you guys do homework so we can like help you move forward? And they were like, yes.
Like Daniel is really like, this whole thing has blown up into something so different
than what I was expecting.
than what
Yeah.
he was expecting, and then what he told me, what I was expecting.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna do
thought
one
it was
show and I'm out.
I basically thought it was going to be this filthy Grinder thing.
Oh yeah.
Because Grinder, I'm sorry, I'm not going to play like I've never been on Grinder. I've been on Grinder. It's a nasty, dirty thing. And it is just like Tinder. It is a hookup center, and that's it.
I was on Grindr for like 2 years and I couldn't handle it.
I wasn't on Grindr for 2 years, but wow.
Well, I didn't really use it much, but I was on there for a couple of years.
I didn't really use
I
it.
didn't really use it.
I was just on there.
It used me.
I know.
But the homework, and this is good for everybody, anybody out there. The homework for the guys that they're supposed to send me their list, and we're going to go over them on Thursday because I have another show on Thursday. And the list is tell me 5 things that you don't like about you, but they can't be physical, not physical.
It can't be like I don't like my knees, I don't like my shins, or any other body parts.
I'm a procrastinator. I'm not responsible, whatever. And then 5 things you do like about you, and again, they can't be physical.
Interestingly enough, I guarantee you, the 5 things you like about yourself are going to be the harder one list to make. I remember when my sponsor first asked me to do that in my recovery, I had the hardest time coming up with good things. It's so easy. I don't know why we are so wired to come up with the negative so easily, but the positive was really hard to come up with.
You were on Bagel Meets Coffee? What does that mean?
I was, okay.
Is that a dating app?
Hey, Carlos. Oh my gosh, hey,
Carlos.
Happy
you doing?
belated birthday.
How you doing, sir? And just to answer, because I know David asked a question, I remember MySpace.
Are you talking about TikTok?
Yes, I remember MySpace. When MySpace came out, people were like, "Don't go on there. Don't go out there. They're stealing all your..." And
MySpace, come on, in the end, it lost.
Yeah. I still have a MySpace.
Oh dear Lord! I'm sure I do.
MySpace.
I just don't even. I couldn't log into it if I wanted to. I think it's. I probably logged in with the email that doesn't exist anymore.
Oh my God! We were just talking about that. About how, like when. Hi, Maddie. Hi.
Hi, Madeline.
We were just talking about things that didn't exist back then. Back when.
But yeah, and I know that's a dating app. I mean, I've actually heard. It
is a dating app.
I've heard of it. Yes.
Bagels and coffee is a dating app.
But anyway, let's answer the TikTok question because we kind of glossed over it again.
What is it?
I think the whole TikTok thing is just our president got pissed off because all those genius, and I will rarely say this in the same sentence, but genius millennials got on there and totally tricked him into thinking he's going to have this huge conference, and then no one showed up. I'm sorry, that was the most genius thing I have heard in so long, and they did it all through TikTok, and it was anonymous and very, very well hidden. I'm sorry, that's amazing. What they did was amazing, and I think it pissed him off, and that's why they're all coming down on TikTok.
But it's not the first time
I don't think there's
TikTok,
a legitimate link. Yes, I know TikTok's a Chinese company owned and developed by.
But it's not the first time that people use TikTok for the kind of.
Well, no, but this is the first time it was an attack on the president.
So it's not the first time.
It's an attack on the president.
Right, that's what I mean. It's the
and
biggest
our president's
baby.
I don't want to say anything too serious because I know we all have differing beliefs out there, and I don't know what all of yours are.
But I will
say our president can be a little petty when it comes to a slap in the face or an insult, and he, I think it's just his knee-jerk reaction. Demanding that there be if there was an investigation already going on, he just brought light to it and gave it fire, because I think it was nothing. I don't believe it's any more of a leak than Facebook is. Than whatever what was the app before Facebook?
MySpace, Facebook,
or any of these social apps.
There were more.
There are so many apps out there.
Was there more apps after that?
There were, but there's so many apps out there made by Chinese companies and Chinese individuals and programmers. We have a lot more to worry about than TikTok.
There is a new page that's coming out. I haven't been on it yet, but I'm going to investigate, called Liber, Liber.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've heard of it.
Somebody sent me a link to, but I haven't tried it yet. And I'm sure that'll be the next thing that people are going to say that somebody's...
Oh, yes, Veronica, I agree. Yeah, MySpace, I couldn't even remember the name. I actually had a friend who was like a senior vice president at MySpace at one point. Yeah. That's how old I am.
So, I mean, everything that comes out that people don't understand, like that face, that old, making you old face app, face app.
Yeah.
They were talking about that's just
facial recognition software that's feeding your face to the... Bottom line, if you want to be off the grid, you need to commit to it and be off the grid, and you can be. And if you need to hire someone to erase you from the grid, you can do it.
Yeah, 'cause-
and there are people who get paid and they do that. You could have no digital footprint in this world, but you're going to live a very different life than the life everyone else is living.
And actually, Facebook captures a lot more information
Oh my
than
God.
TikTok does.
Facebook captures your life.
Yeah, I'm sure they could clone people off of me to the point off of Facebook with so much stuff that I post on Facebook.
Yeah. I'm not a big social media person. I'm old in that sense. I never really. Daniel, of course, is the polar opposite. He and I are 180 degrees on that. I'm not the biggest social media person. Like, this is the biggest social media thing I've ever done, is this show. And I can't even say that word because Daniel would like punch me, Gabe. That's so funny. I like her. I'm so but like, I try to minimize, like, I don't post a lot of stuff, and I just kind of also, I'm in a position where I don't really want, I don't need a lot of extended family members and stuff knowing my life. If I wanted in my life, I would have included them decades ago. And I don't want them in my life, and I don't need them in my life.
I'm real, David. I'm a real boy.
He's a real man, not a boy. He's way beyond boy.
But it's just that we come from different points of view most of the time when it comes to political.
We do. Like the only reason stuff gets posted about where we're at or where I'm at usually is because Daniel tags me in a post.
And then lately, I really haven't.
But I taught for a while as a teacher, and another thing is I don't want kids finding my life either.
Yeah, and for me, I belong to several different campaigns, and they all have morality clauses now. So, so I need to be very careful about what I post. Even on this new site, Blue.
Thank you, Gabby.
Hi,
Gabby. Thank you, Gabby.
Even on this new site that it is a dating site, I need to be very careful about what I show or post or share, because any of that can be used outside, and I don't want it to come back. So I only post on there things that I if I can't post it on Facebook for my family to see, I won't post it anywhere else. Well, except for TikTok. TikTok, I will do stupid videos.
He does a lot of, well, I don't know if they're stupid, but he does a lot of videos on TikTok. He has a lot of videos. I think I have 5, 6, and I have about as many followers.
Yeah,
I just don't care.
But ultimately,
it's too much work.
Ultimately, any social media page you're on, I think it's just a personal thing. Like I am a social person. I'm part of campaigns.
It's his thing, and it's also part of your professional life is based on being on social media. I mean, it's just how it is.
I get requests to do videos and post things.
And there isn't one part of my whatever professional life, the 2 professional lives I have right now, neither one of them we're dependent on the internet.
So ultimately,
they both are dependent on the internet, or not the internet, but on
internet, but not social media.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But not on the actual social media.
So ultimately, do what makes you comfortable. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. TikTok definitely helped us get over the lockdown because we were enjoying that.
Yeah, Gabe, it did. In fact, he came home and had 3rd-degree burns on his hands. It was terrible.
Where is he?
When you signed the morality clause.
Keep talking while I give him a look. This is for you, Gabe.
You know what, Crystal? Sometimes that's the best we can do. I have a generic email that I use I call it my trash dump email. It's what I use to sign up for anything whenever they want an email, and I'm not particularly interested in getting marketing garbage or anything. It's my garbage pail email. I totally do kind of the same thing.
She's talking about Instagram. I've taken, like for instance, I do the 1-minute horoscopes. I do 1-minute horoscopes.
You're right, Veronica.
And you guys, some of you guys follow that 1-minute horoscopes on Instagram or whatever. 1-minute horoscopes usually takes me 20 minutes to do.
Yeah.
Because I can't, sometimes I have a hard time getting it all in 1 minute. So I have to like start over again. And then I'll miss a sign and I have to go start over again. So it takes me a while. But
it sure did, Gabe. It sure did. The worst, Gabby,
hey, Chris.
I can tell you, Gabby, I'm the worst. I am not an Instagrammer at all. I tried. I gave it a good college try, whatever that actually means, but because I didn't try very hard in my first part of college. But the last part I did, my graduate career I did. But I really gave it a hard try. Like I tried to do the hashtags. And I tried to do all that, and it just didn't take. I don't even go on Instagram hardly.
I don't understand. See, for me, that is so crazy. Like
I love that.
Anthony
Like,
has
he's
no
smart.
no social, and I guess because
Hi, Chris.
most
Sorry.
of my professional career now in advocacy and in spiritual stuff and even in acting and in the entertainment is based on social media. That's how I get my word out. I could not imagine being now without social media.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh my God, I don't know
And
how
yeah,
I did
David,
it.
he really has evolved. Like, I look back at some of his morning tea videos.
Oh my God.
I mean, baby, what is that? Baby, you've come a long,
Yeah.
or you've come a long ways, baby.
You watched it, David. Yeah, that was one of the 1 minute videos that I did. And did you see the little thing in the background? That was actually a pull-out thing, like a cardboard thing from a promo that I did, and it was so cool. I saved it. But yes, even
Listen.
I look at it now.
My jaw drops.
The topic was
the
good.
production quality was so poor on his early videos.
But the camera was
So
bad too.
And the camera was bad. There was nothing good about it. His decor was horrible. And, it was just, his hair was bad. Everything was bad. And, but that is how, we all have to start somewhere and we all have to evolve. Like right now, I have my 3-month hair and I can't stand it. I see
It doesn't
every
look
little
bad.
hair.
It actually looks
And,
good.
everyone keeps saying that. It's driving me
Looks good.
crazy because I sweat like a farm animal because I have so much hair now.
I'm so glad Maddie remembers my morning tea videos. I did those for like a year. Those were so good. Those were my first introduction into long shows, morning teas. Those were so cool. And yes, Veronica, we were just talking about Walter Mercado. Walter Mercado influences a lot of what I do in as the car divo now.
Oh, yeah.
That's
And I agree, Chris. Everyone. I was saying about Daniel. It's like, it depends on what you're doing with your life. If you're an advocate, you have to be on social media. You have to be effective on social media and know how to work social media. So I totally get that.
Well,
and hey,
Chris Pettit, who does his psoriasis videos on TikTok and Instagram, he's a fellow advocate. And now there's somebody that's using social media to like really move forward his career. Like you are killing it, brother. You're killing it. And I've done a couple of duets with him on TikTok. So,
and Madeline, we all. That's what I was going to say. And that's why I said he's come a long ways, baby.
even the hair.
Because we've come a long. Well, he's come a long ways from that first morning tea video that I saw. And you're right. We all have to start somewhere. And thank God we can look back on that and laugh now. And he has such an awareness of production and such an awareness of how things. He's kind of
Thank you,
incredible at this. He's kind of good.
Thank you, babe.
He's kinda good at
speaking
this.
of that, I don't know if he's probably not watching right now, but Tony Gala, who's a good friend of mine, I've been on his show, he's been on my show.
Tony
Gala. He's a singer, and that is one.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
He just came out with a song yesterday, and the author of the song, the songwriter, when they were going to launch it, said, "Hey, we should do an interview." And Tony was like, "Who do you want us to interview? Who do you want to interview us?" And he said, "How about your friend that does the card readings? Like he's such a great interviewer." So I was requested to do an interview, and then from that show, a friend from Tijuana, who is an actor, who I'd been after him for a long time for an interview, finally wrote me and said, "Hey, will you interview me?" So yes. So anyway, just in case you weren't watching, this is the Christian and Daniel show,
And I'm Christian.
and I'm Daniel, and these are our cups.
The
Yay!
Christian and Daniel show cup mugs. It's our new merch.
Mine's green inside,
Mine is blue.
and
Heather blue. For some reason, it looks good on me.
and we want to remember to we want to check. Thank you,
Checo.
Checo Doria, for making the logo.
And he got a special one that actually has our names and his name on
Yes, his is a special place for his name.
it. His
so.
is a special one.
Yes, and we're gonna look into having these as merchandise, so we might have them out as merchandise.
And Crystal, yeah, I totally, I cannot stand that people use people's images and steal their images and steal their work that they work on and do that garbage online. It's just, I just don't get it. And it's just like when guys on the dating sites use some ridiculous image of a model that's not them. And then, like, what do you think when I walk to your door and you open it and, you're a troll? I'm going to be like, oh yeah, let's go out. No, I'm going to be like, click dial tone, goodbye.
Well-
I'm going to go back to my car or
Yes.
my Uber, and I'm leaving.
Yes, yours is royal blue because they told us that you loved Texas blue, and
Yeah,
that's the
and
closest.
that's Texas blue, closest we can get
The
to it.
Texas blue. So we did our
That's
research.
why mine's light blue, Heather,
Yes.
and Daniel's is
Green, because for everybody who knows it's
spring green.
one of my favorite colors to use. So yeah, but yes, we Checo, we did our homework before we.
We did. We put thought into it. I do everything wrong on camera.
Yeah, so Gabe flips houses. So he's about.
No way!
Yeah, he flips houses.
Oh, could be such a lucrative career. If I had 1 ounce of like any carpentry skill or the ability to pound a nail into a wall and actually not hate every minute of it, I would love to do something like that.
There was the day that we pitched the disposal.
We did. It took 2 of us almost 2 hours, but we were able to get our disposal plugged in.
I was all butch. I got mad because he couldn't figure it out.
I couldn't do it. My hands are bigger than his, and I couldn't fit them into this tiny little space.
Should I be bragging that? Look at my tiny hands.
They aren't that tiny, but anyway. It just cracked me up because I couldn't fit my hands in, and he could fit his into the space where the plug is. Again, folks, I just want you to understand, it's not me going on this express train to the sewer every time. Aw, spring green. Yeah, it's his favorite color. We have he has a lot of green in his house.
Is that a nickname for Daniel?
thank you
Yes,
guys, I
he
love it.
nailed. Do we have any blind date horror stories or been catfished? I did. I got caught up in a couple of those. We'll have to meet, and they never met.
Oh,
Situations.
wow.
Well, when I was after I broke up with my last boyfriend before Christian, between those times, because I was really in that place in my head that I just wanted to meet somebody, and I made it all the way to can I borrow money, and then I stopped. Yeah, and then I was like, I'm not. I was
Sorry.
poor.
I mouthed that. I did not say it. Like, are you kidding me? I had many a date
Really?
that I met up with. Yeah, before you, I got
You
around.
weren't a virgin when we met.
No, and I got around.
Well, you weren't no virgin.
There were more than a few people who knew me in the carnal sense. I feel like Grandpa here. Like, you mean you had a life? You did?
You had no life before me. Don't lie.
But I remember having, meeting men, and again, like I had said earlier, they have this like ridiculous picture or a picture that's like 30 years old of themselves that they put up, and then they show up and they're like gray haired with a walker, and I'm like, who are you? And they're like, oh, that was me. I'm like, no, that must be your grandson. Are you just here to tell me he's not coming?
Who was it?
Because if it's you, your picture's old, as are you. Click dial tone, goodbye. This phone's hanging up. Like, I don't know what insanity runs in any person's mind who puts up would you stop for a second and let me finish?
No, I'm agreeing with you.
You're thinking about something else.
I am thinking.
Yeah, I see. Me.
No, I'm. Go ahead.
Anyway, it's like, I'm like, in what planet would someone who's meeting with you in person based on or based on you 20 years ago, going to look at you now and be like, oh yeah, it's okay that you're a total liar. It's okay that you're a total liar. And that, that really turns me on. Like, I want to talk to you and get to know you better.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Well, I was trying to think.
Like, what type of insanity has to take place? What neurons are disconnected in your brain that you think that's going to work out? Like, or the ones that show up at your door. That's even worse.
I was trying to think.
I had one guy show up for a date, and we're supposed to go out to dinner, and he shows up at the door with a bath towel with a bath towel on one arm, and in his other hand was Neutrogena Rain Tree massage oil. Since when did massage oil and a towel become dinner out on the town? And bottom line, I hate Neutrogena Rain Tree massage oil. It smells like...
There goes the Christmas
It
gift.
smells like grandma. It smells like something like an elderly person would put on.
What I was going to say
I
is...
can't stand it. And I'm sorry if you love it, but I just can't stand it.
I was thinking
and so,
one of our friends... Well, wait a minute. One of our friends got... Somebody was using their picture out on a gay site who is not gay. And I'm trying to think about who it is.
Well, I don't know who that is. So I've had some interesting experiences with people who misrepresent themselves, and I guess that's a form of catfishing. If you're putting up an image of yourself, even if it's you, but it's from you from 20 years, like if I put a picture of me from when I was 18, and I would get a lot of attention. But that is not who I am today. I don't look the same as I did when I was 18. I wish I could say I did. Because I look back even and go, damn, I'd date me. Okay? And when I was 18, I thought I was so fat and so ugly. And I was in great shape, and I wasn't ugly. I've never been ugly, actually. I just thought I was.
But I was reading what Kristen said. No, don't, please. Like, if I had taken all the bad dates as to stop dating, we would never have met.
Like, yeah, Gabe, I just, yeah. I'm very butch. So most people don't think I'm gay. I agree. Very butch. I repair stuff. I love cars. I wash my car with a pressure washer.
I will admit,
I
will admit that when it comes to the cars, Christian is
my dad taught me well about that.
And Christian can stand up with anybody and talk cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't...
Yeah.
I could do that.
Yeah. So,
I know how they work. I know how they function. I know, internal combustion engine is not that sophisticated a device.
It's an interesting conversation when we were driving, and this isn't happening much anymore, Fred. And he would be like, that's a Mitsubishi 250S 90.
Okay, let's just name something that sounds a little more on planet Earth. I'd be like, oh my God, that's the new E350 Blue Tech, and he'd be like, oh, it's a blue car. I'm like, the technology that went into that diesel engine, it's a diesel. What's diesel? No, Daniel was never quite that naive, but. He'd be like, it has a diesel engine? Where's the smoke? And I'm like, that's the point of Blue Tech. It doesn't make smoke anymore.
Like, where do you keep your chapstick?
I know. Should I put more on? Do I need more lip gloss?
Roll down the window. I need air.
He needs more air in that head of his.
Guy Barbie is here.
I know. Hi, Barbie.
I lost track of where I was going to go.
So Daniel,
I was going to make a joke.
Daniel, and bottom line, that is one thing that I do know about. I do love cars.
You do know
and
cars.
I do know about cars. I know about.
You do. When it comes
I'm
to
not
that
a big classic car
you
person,
are butch
but
in
I
that
do know
aspect.
basics. I can sound butch in that because I could talk about it.
Do you like? For anybody not reading what Crystal just put, plus
I did say hi to Bert.
I don't have any flirt game. A dude could say to me, "You have pretty eyes," and my response, "Do you like bread?"
You have pretty eyes.
Oh my God.
Do you like?
But
I know how to make bread. I love that. That's good.
Oh, so they got a little Barbie Christian, you're being weird. That would be called. I feel like
I did say hi to
I feel like Gabe is like our stage manager now. Like
I love it.
Like he should.
Hi Barbie.
Hi
For the
Barbie.
second time. I didn't say
Good
the
to
first
see
time.
you. For everybody watching, this is the Christian and Daniel show. Thank you for joining us.
Hi Ken.
And in case you missed it because you're just joining us, these are our new Christian and Daniel cups. We want to thank again Checo Doya for creating this logo for us. Hopefully we'll have these as merch soon so that you guys can purchase your own Christian and Daniel cup.
Yeah, the next step is get t-shirts.
Yes, we're looking to make t-shirts.
We already have looked at them, so we're...
And I'm really excited because Checo's also helping me create a new Cardivo logo. and we're working on that. It's almost there. It's almost there. I heard you both times. Oh, good. Thank you.
I just love doing that when we say Cardivo.
And next week is episode 20. For those of you that have been watching.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll do episode 20. And we really want to do a Q&A show. So if you have any questions that you've always wanted to ask us, maybe next episode we can do that and start it. Want to ride bikes? I don't know what that. I'm not even gonna acknowledge him anymore for the rest of the show.
Oh, you know, my neighbor Terry and I have started going on walks in the evening, usually about 4 nights a week, if not more. And a short walk for us is, she always says, well, I go for a short walk, and we end up walking for like 2 hours. So we're getting really good, like way more exercise than we need to in. I know, you're not supposed to ever have enough exercise, but there's enough exercise in my world. And I just think it's hilarious that we end up with these long walks, and we've met some of the most amazing neighbors in our community, in our neighborhood here. And last night we went walking on the bike, what they call the Bologna Creek, not the Bologna Creek, the Bologna Creek bike trail. Now it's called a bike trail, but I wasn't thinking about that, so I said, we could walk on the bike trail.
There's a lot of bikes.
I forget. We still in California. We're still trying to. We're like kind of stuck at stage 2, so most people aren't back to work yet, and a lot of people apparently own bikes.
Yeah,
and a lot of people like riding their bikes.
Culver City
and
is
now
a bike place.
they're riding them because they got the time to ride them. So, you know, it's like last night I felt so bad because we're walking along the bike path, it goes along what would be like the LA River. It's, you know, just a big drainage ditch, but it's really wide and it's actually pretty down there. And we just kept being in the way of all these bikers, like motorcycles. The Hell's Angels were honking at us. But no, you know, I just felt bad because we kept walking for all these bikes and everything. It was so crazy. And I'm just like, why did I suggest this? Because I said bike trail. It's not a walking trail.
Yeah.
We weren't the only people walking on it, but I just felt like, I remember when I had my bike and I'd go on that trail and people were walking on it, it would drive me out of my freaking mind. Because it's not really, it's wide enough for 2 bikes in different directions. They have 1 lane in each direction.
Right.
It's wide enough for the bikes, but with a walker and the plants that are kind of growing in now, it's dangerous for us to be walking there because it forces the bicyclists to go around us, and they could hit another bicyclist if they're not paying attention. And I don't know.
There's a reason why it's a bike trail.
I know.
And not a walk trail.
Genius. Let's walk on the bike trail.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, it was fun, and it's a hard walk actually because it has pretty steep inclines. So it was a good walk, but we can't do it again.
So this is nice.
Oh, I like this.
So this is time for our picks of the week.
Wow, time really flies.
I know. And I just saw Carlitos, our nephew.
Yes, you're right, Crystal.
I just want to say a shout out to Joe, our nephew, out there in South Texas. Hope you're feeling better.
Is he on?
Yeah, I just saw him come on. So,
oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Just hope you're feeling better. That's all we got to say. But
that's all I had to say, apparently. We love you, Joe.
So, pick of the week.
My pick of the week is Win the Wilderness. I first didn't watch this show for weeks. I added it to my list on Netflix. It's on Netflix. And I thought, Win the Wilderness. It looks like a bunch of older millennials going out in the woods and like saying, ew, bugs, ew, trees, ew, grass. And it sounded like very not entertaining to me. But I said, maybe I'll give it a chance because it sounds interesting. I was wrong. It is a fantastic show. It's about this group of British people who are brought to Alaska. And apparently there's this Oz or Oz mountain. I can't remember there's this old guy who in the mid 80s hiked out into the middle of nowhere, Alaska, and basically set up a homestead in the middle of nowhere. I mean, there are no roads. there's nothing. Everything that's out there, he built and he made. If there's a trail, he blazed it. If there's like an airport strip, he built it.
Wow.
And he keeps it clear because the only way to get to this house is by airplane. You can't. You could hike there.
Sounds like northern exposure.
Yeah, you could hike there, but it would take you like weeks to get there. And
Win the wilderness or wind the wilderness?
win, W-I-N, like winning something. Because basically, it's not British TV. Actually, it's a Netflix original. They just brought all British people over as contestants to compete in all this wilderness survival stuff to win the deed and the right to this guy's 3-story cabin or home that he built in the middle of nowhere and his property. Basically, he and his wife are so old now they can't keep up the property because it's constant work. Because there's no public utilities, there's nothing. Everything that happens there is because you make it happen. And they're just too old to do it anymore. And so they have to move back to civilization and in an environment where they can get stuff done. And so they want to bequeath. They haven't, I guess their kids didn't. She had kids, but I guess they didn't want it. So.
And why do you like it?
I love it because it shows it's British people, which is totally, they're in like the most American environment you could think of is the middle of nowhere wilderness, Alaska. And they're working with this super American old people who went out and homesteaded, which is like totally how the United States was, how the West was won, was by homesteading. And yeah, Barbie. And it was fascinating to see these British people competing in America. And there's some culture clash that happens and also some cultural assimilation that happens too. And to think that there's a British couple's going to win this couple's homestead in the middle of nowhere, Alaska, not connected to anyone. It's like a very solitary life for these two. And that they are going to live in America.
Wow.
In the middle of nowhere. So, I mean, I guess they can make their own Little Britain there. Little Britain. Comedy show, in case you didn't know, called Little Britain. I was making a joke. But it was fantastic. Like, the dynamic of the couples, the emotions. I really got involved. Like, I couldn't stop watching it.
I'll have to check it out.
It was fantastic. It was so not what I expected. And it was so much deeper than I expected.
And my pick of the week is a show called Flaked. Flaked. It's also on Netflix. I was just looking at
Yes, Crystal. I would have tapped out. Like, I would have landed, gotten bit by a mosquito, and said, "Okay, time to go."
I just forgot who I said was on it.
What show?
The show's called Flaked, and it's about a gentleman. It's filmed here in Venice. It's all shot in Venice. And he's the guy who did
his brother
Lego.
was Alexis.
Who did the Lego thing? No, the guy who did Lego shows. The Lego
Will
show.
Arnett?
Will Arnett. Will Arnett is on it, and he plays a guy in recovery who has this very checkered past, and ends up in Venice, and he's sober, and it revolves around sobriety. This is one of the reasons I enjoyed the show because it is a very
Gabe, you're evil.
What are you saying?
To keep protection so that he couldn't supply with toothpaste to the Bridgman.
You're horrible, but
I love it.
It's
It's
really
so
cool
funny.
because it's a very like modern day take on people in sobriety and the trials and tribulations that go with it. Kirstie Alley is in it. She plays the mom of one of the characters. It's really cool. I really like it because it really does show what you go through in sobriety to maintain your sobriety and how some people cheat in their sobriety and actually are not sober but pretend to be sober. And it really opened my eyes. It's a dramedy type show, and it does go a little slow at times. So if you're not into sobriety, if you don't like this kind of shows, you probably won't like it. But I'm digging it.
Or if you can't relate to it at all, then
If you don't know the insides of somebody in sobriety, or you have not gone through a program,
it's hard to get into.
Yeah, you probably will lose some of it, but.
Barbie, it is a drama.
But it has its comedy sides to it because it's Will Arnett anyway. So
it's a dramedy.
Yeah, so he has this, and then Kirstie Alley is just phenomenal in it. I hadn't seen her in anything in a
I
while.
love Kirsty.
So she's kind of loony. It's like Rebecca from Cheers got older and ended up in Venice Beach, kind of thing. So, right, it's actually tough to live in Alaska outside of the main cities. Lots of places in Alaska. They can run sewer lines.
Oh yeah, they showed what they had to do to take care of that too.
We used to have an outhouse at the ranch. So,
No, it's the 21st century. Get some water.
yeah, there's places that still have
Get some
outhouses.
plumbing. Or at least run it down to the river and let it go in the river.
Ew.
Oh, please. Like touching it and dealing with it later is not ew.
Well, you don't touch it when the outhouse. It goes down in the dirt.
Ugh.
There's a hole.
Then you have to smell it and look at it for weeks.
You know, I tried to get into Shameless, and I guess it was just a little too rough for me.
I can't do it. I watched the British one, and for quite a few seasons, not up to current, but I watched quite a few of the seasons of Shameless, Gabe, and I can't get into the American one at all. It's too clean. Too whitewashed, not whitewashed, but it's too washed for me.
I might give it another try, just to see, but.
Oh yeah, Crystal.
But
That's another reason I couldn't be there. 40. I know it's like negative numbers.
People go camping, like, unless you're.
People go camping. Christian doesn't go camping. I grew up camping. I got it out of my system.
I've done
when
the
I was young.
bucket thing out in a campsite.
God bless you for it too. I'm not saying you can't do it. I don't do it. I did it. I got all those experiences in my book.
Oh yeah, the new Unsolved Mysteries. It's so cool. I watched the first one. It's kind of interesting. But I like those murder shows.
Oh, well, I'm going to save it for next week. That's not much.
Yeah, so we'll have more pick of the weeks for next week.
Well, and it's just like Naked and Afraid. Like, I mean, come on. What do you think they're doing?
Ocean dumps.
Ocean. That's not a bad idea, actually, when you think about
That
it.
could be a whole new show there, Barbie. Welcome to Ocean Dumps.
Ocean dumps.
Of course I would. The American version, yeah, I haven't seen any one of them, but I'm very careful about sobriety type shows. I don't like them when they get or
Shameless?
drug shows when they get it is a trigger for me, but not like I want to go use. It just causes me anxiety to watch drug shows.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
If it triggers you, you shouldn't watch
yeah.
it.
What a well takes dumps, ocean dumps. I see what you did there. What a well takes? Ocean dumps.
I mean, where do you think?
I'm
all
kind
those
of
families
nervous.
did it?
I'm kind of nervous about Gabe and Barbie working together on jokes here on the show now.
I love it.
I'm always scared of Gabe anyway. So anyway, guys,
I'm not.
I'm not scared of him.
I'm not that scared.
Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us. So this is episode 19, and again, we want to thank Checo for our logo.
Thank you,
We
Checo.
really appreciate it. And in case you didn't notice, it says Little Mexican Productions down at the bottom. Yay, Little Mexican Productions.
I can't get it without the light shining on it.
I was going to put the trademark on there, but the site doesn't let you do trademark.
Like weird,
Yeah,
like little
I wanna-
logos like that.
And you traded for McCoy and was stuck there for 3 extra weeks because of the cold. Oh my God.
Oh my God! God bless you.
No, that's why I don't live anywhere else anymore. Garby.
I love Darby.
It's the Garby Show. But thank you, Checo, for our logo. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
For everybody watching, make sure you check us out on YouTube. Go look for Daniel G Garza and follow us on there. You get a lot of other stuff. Also, remember Friday nights at 6 p.m. It's the Card Devo Show. So come check me out here. There's a lot more things coming up. Kalama, who is the creator of our
Theme song.
is in the works of producing a show, and I might be collaborating with him. So we might be collaborating a co-production.
I love it.
Little Mexican Productions
I
and
love
Kalama
it.
Productions. So we might be working together on so stay tuned for that.
A Kalama, Lil Mexican Productions.
And we're doing we're working together again this weekend.
We are actually doing a party.
We're doing a party
With less than 11 people in attendance,
Yes.
and observing social distancing and masked up and safe.
Yeah. So Christian is going to go do his mediumship work, and I will be doing card readings. but we got called to do a party. So it's the first time we worked together in a long, long time. It's been a long time.
Oh, it's been a
that we've
long
done
time.
that. So,
Long years. That's
yeah.
why I was like a little nervous when I said yes.
but they hired
work on
me,
it.
and then they wanted. So Lilmesican Productions also does parties. So if you are, that didn't sound right, did it? We do parties. Anyway, with that, folks, love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Keep partying. We,
Harkening back to the 70s. I love it.
with that comment, we're gonna say thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you for joining us. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.